Hi, I'm Eleanor. Dr. Lamb did my surgery yesterday afternoon. And in previous surgeries, I've had plastic surgery before. I've had problems, terrible problems with anesthesia. I didn't want to have general anesthesia during this procedure. I only wanted to have sedation. It turns out we went back and forth on the type of procedures I was going to have. I knew I wanted to have the fat grafting because I had seen Dr. Lamb on TV and I was very impressed. And I wanted to have a face and neck lift, especially my neck, because I had a turkey neck, which really had resulted from some liposuction that I had under my neck 20 years ago. And even though it was good at that time, it wasn't permanent. And so the skin became lax after that. Well, this is, again, not even one day out, less than 24 hours out. I feel good, even though Dr. Lamb had warned me that I would feel tight in my neck and my cheeks. It's really not bad at all. And I am so thrilled. I have to tell you, I was apprehensive, so apprehensive before. I was scared about just doing this one little neck procedure, which Dr. Lamb excels at, because I really want to lift my whole neck up. And so Dr. Lamb did agree to doing essentially both things, I believe. This procedure, special procedure he does, plus the neck and facelift. And before, one of the times that I came to visit Dr. Lamb before I had this done, because I believe I bothered him 3 times, I felt like I was bothering him 3 times before we actually went ahead with this, he had shown me another patient who was 3 days out. And I saw the sutures around her ears, and I could not believe it. They were absolutely meticulous. And I was so impressed with that, and so impressed with Dr. Lamb and his philosophy about anti-aging and really how to do a face and create a face that makes you look younger and not pulled, that I felt that Dr. Lamb was a surgeon for me. In addition, I know I'm going on, but in addition, I have very large bulgy eyes, and no plastic surgeon wanted to work with them because they felt they couldn't make them better, that they might make them worse. Dr. Lamb is the only one that I have come across who could address that with fat grafting. And I couldn't be happier. I know I look a little bit like an alien now, but I know that every day I'm going to start to look better. And I'm just so excited about this. And anyone who is considering a facelift, a neck lift, or anything, any kind of facial plastics should definitely come and see Dr. Lamb.
You heard is one day out from full face fat transfer and a face and neck lift, and I'm showing her warts and all at one day. So the little tiny dots are some moles that I excised too, if in case you're wondering, and you can see her hair is a bit unkempt, and I just want to show you as the audience exactly what someone looks like at day 1 without trying to camouflage and make it something that I want you to be able to relate to this and see it. Go ahead and turn over this way to your left here. And there's a slight pulled look to the neck. You can see a little bunching around the jawline. That's all normal. That's going to subside in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Now it'll be flattened out. And you can see a slightly pulled look. That will be gone. You can really see how tight that neck is compared to her before photographs. Go ahead and turn to the other side for me. And a large part of it, and you see a little bunchiness around the ear. Again, that's all normal. You really can't even see her suture line. We'll do some close-ups as we progress. But what I want you to see is how tight that neck is. And sometimes the neck in the next few days will also get a little bit more swollen, and that's going to subside as well. I've counseled her that tomorrow it's going to be a little bit more distorted. And again, this is not a natural look. I'm not showing you this result today at one day. Go ahead and turn back toward us. At one day to show you, oh, look how great she looks. It's just for you as a prospective patient to understand the process so that you don't feel so scared about it. And we'll continue with our journey.
Hi, I'm 6 days out now, and I'm thrilled with my neck. I have to tell you that, including from when I was a teenager, at this point, my neck is better than when I was 15 years old. So I am thrilled with that. Right now, 6 days, I'm still experiencing tightness here in my jowls. sometimes, occasionally in my neck, but not much. In my cheeks, I'm experiencing some tightness, and it's preventing me at the moment from moving my mouth properly. Although I have had some nerve damage. I think that was done when I was a child or when I was born or something from forceps here. So my mouth has a tendency to drop on this side. But Dr. Lamb has told me that he's going to help me out with that in the future. Right now, I'm still experiencing a lot of swelling here. The one thing that's very interesting to me is that I've always had bulgy eyes. And for the first time in my life, my eyes aren't bulging because Dr. Lamb has done fat grafting here. And even though some of that is swelling, I'm sure, I think that there will be a significant difference from before. Also, as a student, I study a lot, and so I've had the past year, developed very bad depressions under my eyes. And I'm sure that that's going to be gone completely, so I'm thrilled about that because the eye area is a critical area when it comes to aging. Also, I'm a student in psychology, and I wanted to mention one thing, that they have done studies on infants, that is under 1 year old, and even infants are attracted to faces that are more symmetrical and more appealing. Even infants. It is not something that our culture has created, as everybody is told that it is. It is not. It is something that is innate in the human being, not only in the human being, but actually in all animal species. So it's a very interesting thing. And of course, for me, I'm going to be changing careers, and so it's very important for me to look younger so that I can compete in the marketplace. And I believe that in a few weeks, I'll start to look, much better and younger. And I think that some of my friends aren't going to believe the change that this has made in me. So I'm thrilled. One more thing. I can't forget about this because the people on Dr. Lamb's staff have been wonderful. He must pick them for their friendliness and their concern and their sense of caring of other people. But it's just been a real joy to be with them and to talk with them and experiencing their concern and their care for me and for each person that they look after here.
As you heard from Eleanor, we are now 6 days out from the procedure. She's coming a day early because I'm going to be out of town this weekend doing some lecturing in Newport Beach. But as you heard, she's doing well. There's not really any discomfort. It's just a really tight feeling. And I just want to emphasize that to people that are coming in and doing this. It does feel abnormal to smile. It feels a little bit weird. And the movement of her lips, something I actually really wasn't picking up on beforehand, but I'm always hypersensitive after a procedure and looking at it, is something she's always had, but that can be, the lower right lip can be actually balanced out very easily with a little bit of Botox. As you heard, part of what I think is so fun with this procedure is, one, is really to match out all the photographs so that she looks like herself and her identity is not taken away from her. But what's also very interesting and fun for me is to take a face that's already attractive but take it to another level and really create, I like the word harmony even more than symmetry, because what Eleanor was talking about, their eyes being slightly larger, I can frame that eye even better than someone else that really would benefit, but in her case she benefits tremendously from an aesthetic capacity. And so what I was trying to do with the neck, as you heard, is even a neck tighter than at 15, and I think we can bounce a quarter off that neck, which is exciting. I wanted to show those incisions now at 6 days. Go ahead and turn over this way. You can see there's a slightly pulled look just at the bottom of the incision line, but you really can't even see the incision line, and there's a little bit of congestion and swollen. That's why you can see the depth of the incision there. That's totally normal. The little bit of a bunchiness around the bottom part of the ear, that will also dissipate. I never go in the hairline. I actually had that discussion with Eleanor earlier this morning. I wanted to actually reiterate that I don't take out hair. The incision line is literally 1 millimeter at the top of the ear, and that's the full extent of it. So there's no compromise in the hair, or nor do I go in front of the hairline, which can also be a major problem. No matter what everyone tells you, you can see that incision line if you go up in that area. Turn to the other side. And again, you can see a little lumpiness and bunching along the base where that's suspended. That will take another week to dissipate, but that will completely settle out. And also, you can really see how tight that neck is compared to her preoperative photographs. And sometimes that also loosens a little bit. It won't actually loosen, but it will just get a little swelling there, then it'll come back up. There's one other thing. The reason why her neck is so tight, even compared to her youth, is that there was a component of fat that sits between the muscle bellies that even with her previous liposuction they couldn't get at. And what I did was actually, this is a procedure that most surgeons don't do, is actually I hand remove that fat and then double, triple imbricated, I can't even speak this morning, imbricated her platysma muscles, so that neck will be even tighter than in youth. And that's what's so exciting about this, without skeletonizing the neck, without taking the neck and making it hollow looking. And that's very important. That's a right angle you're looking at right there, and that's a very youthful look. So that's where we are today, and we'll follow Eleanor along, and I hope you have been enjoying this video journey.
Hi, I'm 14 days out now, and I've just looked at my before and after pictures, and there's a huge difference. I love the framing around my eyes. That has made a significant difference to the way to looking older versus looking much younger. So I'm very, very happy about that. A lot of the swelling has gone down. It seems like most of it's gone down, and things are looking good. So I'm excited to seeing myself 6 months from now. So, and Dr. Lam is a fantastic facial artist. So I highly recommend him.
Eleanor's 14 days out, as you heard, and this is still swollen. I know she loves what it looks like right now. It does look great, and it will continue to look great. There's just a little bit too much puffiness into the cheek and jawline area, but that's a very beautiful, youthful look. She'll still look great when the swelling comes down. She is still swollen, but everything looks really, really good. She was asking also in her neck. There's a little congestion right in the neck, but let's turn to the side and we'll show that there. You can see it's still a very tight neck, but she's seeing a little bit of swelling now that she didn't see a few days ago, and I told her that's normal. Most of the swelling is now moved down into the neck area, and because I create such a tight neck, there's a little bit of congestion of the muscles, so there's a little fullness. Go ahead and sweep your hand to cover the, I just want to show them where you are at 14 days right now. As you can see, about 90% of the bunching is gone. There's just a little bit left right around the ear, and that's going to continue to dissipate. There's a little bit of fullness around the ear, but this is really not noticeable, except if you look up close in the area. Let's look at the other side. If you can go and expose the incision line, it would be great. And this is again 14 days out. You can see a little bit of bunching still left around the ear. That will dissipate and settle completely. And you can see that but there's a really nice tight jawline there, and that's just normal to have a little bit of swelling around that area. And Eleanor is doing very well.